Ukulele is easy, ukulele is fun. Ukulele can be learned by anyone.
Hi everyone, my name is Mr. Joey and welcome to Ukulele for All, an all-ages lesson series about how to play the ukulele. This is week 1 of the program, meaning that this video is designed for people who have never played a ukulele before. My goal is to show you that it's much easier than it looks. We'll start with the most basic of the basics, holding your ukulele. I recommend that you don't touch these tuning pegs until I've explained how they work. The easiest way to break your ukulele strings is to mess with these pegs too much. Go ahead and rest your ukulele in your lap, and you can wrap your right arm gently around the body of the ukulele, and that will kind of hold it in place. Now, I'm right-handed, and I play the ukulele this way. This means that my right hand is my strumming hand, and my left hand will be my fretting hand. Some players, especially left-handed players, find it more comfortable to play the ukulele the other way around. However, this does either require the instrument to be played just a little bit differently, or to be strung in a reverse order on a specially made left-handed ukulele. Most ukulele lessons and sheet music that you find assume that you're going to be playing this way. That's the traditional or right-handed position. And even many left-handed players learn to play the ukulele this way since resources are so much more common. Our next step is to tune the ukulele. This will be the first step of any practice session you spend with your ukulele. Tuning means to adjust the tension of the strings so that they create the correct notes when we pluck them. Go ahead and pluck the string closest to you. The note we want to hear sounds like this. If your string doesn't sound like this, that's okay. It's likely it will sound very different if you've never tuned your ukulele before. Look down at your string and follow it to the headstock and identify which tuning peg corresponds to this string, which is the G string. Now, slowly, you can turn that peg and loosen the string. You want to do this slowly because, again, doing it too fast is a good way to break your string. As you loosen, you should hear the pitch of the note lower as you pluck continuously. Okay, now turn it slightly the other way, and you should hear the pitch rise. You should hear the pitch get higher as you tighten the string. So loosening makes the pitch lower, tightening makes it higher. Now this tuning process might seem kind of complicated if you've never done it before, but it gets easier the more you do it, and there are all kinds of resources out there to help you. You can search for ukulele tuner on YouTube and find lots of different videos. If you have a smartphone or a tablet, check your app store for ukulele tuner and you can find apps that will use your microphone to tell you whether you're playing the right note or not. Or you can just watch me and I'm going to play each string on my ukulele and try to make your strings match the sound of mine. So we're going to start with the G string here. So play your G string and see if it matches. If your note sounds higher than mine, you're going to want to loosen the string. If it sounds lower, then you're going to want to tighten the string. And just pluck continuously until you get a G. Now repeat the process with your next string. This one is the C string. Go ahead and make it sound like mine. Next is the E string. It should sound like this. And finally, the A string. That one sounds like this. So, your strings played from top to bottom are G, C, E, A. And a fun way to remember that is goats can eat anything. G, C, E, A. So now your instrument is tuned up, and again, it might have seemed like a lot of work if this is your first time doing it, but don't worry, it's going to get easier every time you repeat the process. Feel free to revisit this video anytime you need to tune. And just to show you that, yes, playing this instrument is actually fun, let's learn our first song. The building blocks of a song are called chords. A chord is a group of 3 or more notes played at the same time, like this. If you are planning on learning to play ukulele and sing at the same time, then you will probably be playing chords 90% of the time. Our first chord is called C. Here is a chord diagram showing you how to play C. Now you're probably wondering, what does this even mean? The top of the diagram represents the headstock of the ukulele, where the tuning pegs are. The grid represents the fretboard. The 3 circles, or O's, near the top indicate that the G, C, and E strings are intended to be played open, with no fingers on the fretboard. Well, that sounds easy, you say. So what does the 3 mean? Let me explain. Imagine that the fingers on your left hand are numbered. 1 is your index, 2 is your middle finger, 3 is your ring finger, and 4 is your pinky. Place your 3rd finger, that's your ring finger, on the 3rd fret of the A string. Make sure you're pushing down the string firmly. Your ring finger should be the only finger touching the fretboard. Go ahead and strum all 4 strings at the same time with your right hand. Voila! It's a C chord. Do you see how the diagram corresponds to what you're doing with your hands? Many chords are played by strumming all 4 strings. If a chord requires you to not strum a certain string, you will see an X instead of an O above that string. You might be wondering, how exactly do I strum? The answer is, there are lots of ways. Some players use their thumb, some players use their index finger, and some players lightly brush the strings with all 4 fingers. Experiment and find out what feels right or what sounds good to you. Remember that playing an instrument involves a lot of play. Let's learn another chord. This one is G. So for this chord, you're going to use your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers. Like the diagram shows, you're going to place your index finger on the 2nd fret of the C string, and your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. Okay? And then your ring finger is going to kind of fall in place right between the 2 of them on the 3rd fret of the E string. Now strum all 4 strings. It's G. Now that you know G and C, you can try switching between the 2 chords. This will probably be difficult at first, but it will get easier and easier the more you do it, until you don't really have to think about it. It helps me to think of my 3rd finger as an anchor for both chords. The placement of my 3rd finger when playing the C chord is very close to the placement of my 3rd finger when I play the G chord. So rather than remove my entire hand from the fretboard every time I switch chords, I can move my 3rd finger just slightly, acting as an anchor between the 2 chords and shortening the time I need to change the position of my fingers. Okay, if you've made it this far, you're doing great. Here's some exciting news. Now that we know 2 chords, we can play our first song. The chord chart tells us how to play the song, The Wheels on the Bus. The words are the lyrics to the song, and the chord diagrams are the chords you'll use to play the song. In this case, just C and G. The chord diagrams are placed above the words when you'll change chords as you're singing along. This is how you know when to switch chords. So let's play together, starting with C. 1, 2, 3. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Switch to G. Round and round. Switch back to C. Round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Switch to G. All through, and you'll switch to C for the town. Very good. I'm going to play that one more time so that you can watch me do it, and if you're ready, please play along. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. Congratulations! You've learned your first song. I hope you found this video lesson helpful and that you'll tune in next week for part 2. Remember to visit lvccld.org for more awesome resources from your library district. Thank you all so much, and see you next time!
Ukulele is easy, ukulele is fun.